Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today's sketchbook session, I am going to be combining two different sessions into one video just because I had a lot of fun just sketching. Like I think about a week and a half ago, I actually decided that I wanted to pre-record. I thought I was going to pre-record the two sessions like separately, but because I did them kind of back to back, I thought it'd be nice to combine them together. So for the first session, I am going to be using the Palette Color Eno to sketch with first, and then I believe I'm going to be working with these markers. So I kind of pick and choose just whatever markers I want to use for the spread prior, usually, depending on the character. I usually pick the color scheme, and usually I pair it off with some kind of marker, or like fine liner, fine tip marker, needlepoint pen, something like that. I was actually digging around to find my Uniball Vision Needle, and I have it in the size micro, and that is what I'm going to be using for the basically the tightening of the sketch, I guess, or making the sketch come to life a little bit more, because it is quite hard to see how I'm sketching with the pencil, as you can see. So I decided to cut that footage out because you literally couldn't see anything, and it didn't really help that the paper that I'm working on is usually pretty thin with this kind of notebook, so I wanted to sketch it off screen so that I could just, you know, quickly sketch it in without recording it, just because it is harder to see. And then now I'm showing you guys how I block in colors with water-based markers. Now, I don't really remember which markers I showed you in the beginning. I know I used probably the Crayola Super Tips. I don't really remember if I used Ohuhu water-based markers, or did I use the, what's the other brand? My head is blanking. I'll put it on the screen if I didn't mention it. So I'm either using 2 or 3 brands of water-based markers just to get a bigger variety. So for who I'm drawing, the first session, I'm actually going to be drawing Selen Tatsuki from Nijisanji En, and she's from the second wave, which is Obsidia. So I wanted to draw her because her personality is so, like, I don't know, she's so fun, a little bit more like spunky. She plays a lot of Apex, a lot of like FPS games, so I wanted to draw her. She's very, I don't know, she seems very, I don't know how to explain her personality per se, but there's always like certain poses I have in my brain that I would like to draw Selen in. I also really do love her outfit. I think it's very fun, but kind of more on the simple side. So yeah. Selen sports kind of these really cute shorter braids. I drew them a little bit longer in my fan arts because I always forget to kind of bring them upwards. She also has the little wings on her head because she is I believe a dragon is how it's supposed to be, because even her fan name, is Dragoons, which I think is really cute. But yeah, I wanted to draw Selen, and then in the second session, I am drawing also another VTuber just to kind of keep the theme going. But also, usually when I'm doing these sketching sessions, like I mentioned, I like to usually plan out the color schemes just because I like having a little bit more of a cohesive spread in terms of colors, at least, if I can. Especially if I'm drawing like the same character over and over again. Even if I'm not, like if I'm drawing like 17 members, usually I would give them the same color palette regardless. Yeah, I just think it looks really cute and kind of satisfying to look at the end. But because I was feeling a little rusty, so this is actually the first time in a while since I don't know how many weeks I skipped like sketching in my sketchbook. Actually, let me see if I can check this out right now. I have my sketchbook with me. So other than the screen toning one, which I didn't put a date because I'm smart. Yeah, there's no date on any of these. That's great. It was sometime in probably late April that I was kind of a little bit more active sketching in my sketchbook, but because of that I was feeling a little rusty, especially with like filming. So in sequence, when you guys see these videos, so you guys are seeing this video prior to the video that I posted on Saturday, which is I think it's like sketching traditional ASMR video where I drew all the girls of Obsidia, which is Rosemi, Selen, and Petra. So it was kind of like, this was a good warm-up to kind of get me back in to sketching, and I realized how much I miss sketching with graphite. So even though I did these with pen and marker, I will definitely do more sessions with pencil. And if I remember, I'll try to do one session where I won't speed up the footage. I'll just do like chunks and cut some out so we can kind of leave in the background noise a little bit, so you can kind of hear like the sketching and scratching alongside with a little bit of light music and myself narrating a little bit. So yeah, I'll definitely think about it, because for the most part I usually do like time-lapse videos for the sketchbook sessions. I don't know, I think it's just a little bit easier, and it's easier for me to do more like free-flowing voiceover over top of these sketches, rather than doing talking in real time, because my brain feels a little like, I don't know how to explain it, roasted, burned, whenever I have to do like 2 to 3 hours of talking while drawing. So it's not great. It's the same like when I stream. I think because I'm not so used to it still, my throat gets very shot after these sessions. So yeah, I want to give my voice a bit of a rest, which is why I still do a lot of ASMR videos, or the keep me company videos, or these time-lapse versions where I can kind of just do free flow talking for just maybe under half an hour, which is what I usually keep these videos to. But let me know if you guys prefer maybe shorter sessions for these sketchbook videos, or if you prefer longer ones, because like I said, I did merge 2 different sessions together. So before, I would actually slow this down a little bit. This is about 2 times more faster than what I initially had it. So the video would have stopped around 17 minutes of just me drawing Selen, but I decided to condense both of the footages to be faster, so that I could fit the 2 sessions to be still under 20 minutes. But yeah, let's talk about the sketches just a little bit. So I had Selen kind of more in a, is it a jumping pose? I actually don't remember already. And then this one where she's kind of holding a little bit of a gun or something. I remember seeing a similar pose, I think, on Pinterest, which is what I think I was trying to think of, which is why, I don't know how to explain it. I gave her the gun. I think I remember seeing something similar. I don't really remember it entirely, nor did I think I pinned it to any board, so I don't know if I can find the same reference, but I do remember seeing something similar on Pinterest at some point, probably last month or something. But one thing I really like when working with marker, the Pilot Color Eno, and then using some kind of needlepoint pen, is that I like to kind of push the hatching or the blacks a lot more, which is why I usually like using brighter or lighter colors when using, or choosing, I guess, the color palette for the spread. I try to avoid too dark of colors because I want to make sure that the black is still fairly visible, but also allowing me to push that amount of contrast. So Selen's outfit, she kind of wears like a baggy sweater. She also has like a racing number banner thing on her chest, and then she has like a dress shirt underneath, and then she has these little, they're kind of like sweats, I think. But I decided to give her another jacket just because I feel like it fits her vibe too. But I think that's what I was talking about, where I really like her outfits because it's more on the simple side, but it definitely fits her vibe. So I had a lot of fun just drawing Selen in general. I wanted to remember to put in her tail, so I am going to do that quickly. And then I think that's most of what I did for Selen's the drawings. I tried to darken up any corners and stuff, giving kind of more line weight and stuff. And these are the 2 sketches of Selen, just to kind of give me like a warm-up. The next session is also kind of like a warm-up prior to me attempting to do that sketching session of just the girls of Obsidia. Here's a quick little run through. I tried to put a little bit more pinks in some areas as well. I wanted to see if I could merge the pinks and some of the purples that I did have. But yeah, kept it mostly purple, leaning a little bit towards pink and a little bit of a more blue here and there towards whether or not I want it to be warmer or a little bit cooler. Yeah, so we're flipping the page, and I believe this is the backside of the page of Selen. So yeah, I'm going to be working with just ballpoint pen for sketching for the most part, and then in terms of colors, I am using the Ohuhu water-based markers. So I decided to choose these 2 different blues. One's more of like a baby blue, and the other one is kind of more of a, I don't know how to explain. But I was trying to focus more on these two colors, and then I was going to use the one that's a little bit more of like a periwinkle color, I guess, to help accent anything that needs to be a little bit pushed to be darker, because it does have a little bit more of a tinge of like gray or like a more muted tone compared to the other two, so I thought that would fit nicely. So I decided that I wanted to do a spread of Ike. Now I initially, because I've already planned that I wanted to draw Selen for the sketchbook session, I was actually not going to record this, but I decided to record it because I thought, heck, why the heck not? I don't usually do ballpoint pen doodles like this for specific reasons. Usually I usually don't like it because ballpoint pen can kind of get, wow, I can't talk, can kind of get a little bit messy. But I do use a specific pen, which is this Pentel RSVP, I think that's what it's called. And I like it because it doesn't dispense as much ink, which could be good or bad depending on what kind of person you are. I think it feels more like a pencil, which I can gradually push the values and darken things up as we go. You can see that I did like an initial sketch of Ike. I'm drawing Ike, by the way, Ike Eveland, but from also Niji Sanji En, but he's part of Luxium, which is their fourth wave. But yeah, you can see that I'm slowly darkening up some areas here and there just by going over the area several times or pushing a little bit harder. Now, to be honest, I did like the sketch the most, I think. Oh, now that I think about it, actually, there's actually another page behind this. So this is not on the backside of the Selen spread. Actually, let me take a look quickly take a look here. So I did try my best to kind of merge the colors a little bit so that we could have a bit of a nice feeling between the pinks and the blue that I was using, because I remember seeing a post on Twitter where a person was working digitally, but they used such like light pastel colors and probably like some kind of imitation of like a watercolor brush and probably Clip Studio Paint or something, or maybe Procreate, who knows, and they were able to meld together this really light pink and this blue beautifully in such a way. And I didn't really want to pull out my watercolors to do like maybe a similar color palette, so I decided to choose the markers and just play around with it. So in some of the warmer areas of Ike's outfit or his hair, I used the kind of like peachy pink color, and then any of the cooler colors or cooler areas, I decided to use the blue, obviously, and then I used the kind of periwinkle blue over top of the like the more cooler blue, I guess, to kind of push it a little bit darker. Now, I did like the sketch for the most part until I added the hands as well as, what did I add? His mouth. Yeah, I thought this one looked cute until I added that mouth, and he looks extremely like, kind of like derpy-ish looking. So yeah, the page that I was doodling on, or I am doodling on, which is like the back side, I was drawing Ike again because I don't know. Even though I think whenever I sketch him, I don't really do him justice, I will try again, but with graphite, because I have a little bit more confidence in using graphite. I don't know. I just really wanted to draw him, because in general, I really love his aesthetic. Like, when I first saw the trailer for Luxium is kind of like the group that pulled me in fully into, I guess, like the abyss of Niji Sanji En. I was already kind of like, I think I mentioned this in other videos as well, is that I've been kind of like in and out of watching VTubers, and I think it's mostly because at the time I thought VTubers were mostly like JP, like Japanese speakers, so it was hard for me to kind of understand and pick up. I did have some that I watched regularly at the time, like I watched Kanae, I watched Kuzuha, obviously, kind of those two together, as well as I watched Kaidaharu a lot. But until I stumbled upon like a video of Pomu, because Pomu's aesthetic as well, I think is just very cute. It's very much up my alley in terms of aesthetics and stuff, so I decided to watch her, and I found her very entertaining and very funny and just very cute like overall. So I kind of just dove into Niji Sanji En just a little bit. So I kind of mostly watched Lazulite, and then I kind of just dabbled into, every so often I would watch like Petra, so I was a little bit into Obsidia, and then I would watch, I think, who was it? I think it was Reimu. I watched a little bit of Etheria, and then, yeah, Luxium full literally like dragged me by the legs down to Nijisanji En. So yeah, and part of the reason is that I really like their like trailer, I guess, their teaser for the introductions and stuff. But the one member that really caught my eye initially was actually Ike, because I think his whole demeanor I really liked, but also his aesthetic. So he kind of has like this really cute fluffy messy hair. Also, I'm a sucker for characters who wear glasses, but also his color scheme is very much up my alley. I love light colors with blue a lot, any kind of like high contrast, but also like any formal wear that's either like fully white or paired up nicely with black. I'm not like, I still like when it's like traditional suits where it's like, you know, black tuxedo or whatever, black pants, white dress shirt kind of thing, dark tie, right? But there's something about seeing like white jackets that I really like, but also like black dress shirts or even black turtlenecks over or under, I guess, white jackets and stuff, I think looks really classy and stuff. So I really like Ike's aesthetic a lot. Also, I'm a sucker for glasses. Oh my god. Okay. But I decided to draw Ike in his hoodie because someone had a really cute asset and he used it, and it's very cute. He has like a very cute navy blue hoodie that he wore from one of his, was it a Zatsudan or a free chat, super chat reading maybe, or something like that. It was just really cute. He looks so comfy and cozy. I don't know. I just really like his whole demeanor and the whole vibe of his channel and stuff. I do love like all of Ian a lot, and select few people from like JP and like previously like ID and KR as well. My favorite one from KR is now graduated though, which I'm very sad about, but yeah. For the sketches, for the most part, I had a lot of fun working just freely with ballpoint pen. Like I said, I don't really draw a lot with just ballpoint pen. I don't know, I feel intimidated still by using ballpoint pen, but there's something nice about using it when I'm drawing eyes and stuff. They just look really pretty. Maybe it's because of the lack of detail I put in it and the lack of shading. Also, I don't know what this doodle is about. I just kind of scribbled something because I couldn't fit anything properly in here. Probably should have drawn something a little bit cuter, but yeah, just darkening up some lines here and there and then coloring it in. And this spread of Ike is done. Like I said, I try to keep a cohesive color palette when I do spreads. But yeah, maybe next time I'll do some other ones, because I feel like blue and pink are very common for me to do for color palettes. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's sketchbook session, and I will try to do some more sketching for next week's video as well. Thank you much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!